Okay, hopefully I can be vaguely heard. This is Baywatch, and I'm going to try to go through as many features of it as possible and explain basic rules and some strategy for it. First thing, I guess, to just go over the layout. You've got your normal ramps, 4 of them really. Left ramp, which is also the lock shot, has a trap door in it. Middle ramp, which just crosses back over left flipper. The side ramp, which comes back down to left flipper. And the right ramp, which comes back to the left flipper. The left ramp comes around and drops down into the right in lane. There's nothing that actually feeds the right in lane directly, but a lot of stuff goes into the right orbit and comes down to the right in lane. And all that goes past the shark flipper. So you need to be aware on whatever game you're playing of how exactly that feed works. Because it's supposed to be a pretty direct, smooth feed straight down if you don't flip right to the in lane. So you could repeat the left ramp over and over if you wanted. But depending on the angle of the game, how that flipper's adjusted, the ball might bounce a bit when it comes down there or settle in different ways. And you'll see the effect of that later. So you need to know how that works and how exactly you can handle the ball coming in from that. So I guess I'll show that. Baywatch has 3 skill shots that you can choose with a flipper. Choosing it will affect which way it directs the ball for the skill shot. However, all 3 are still active until you hit a switch and validate the playfield. So top lanes, you just have to get the flashing lane. You can move the lane with the flipper. If you choose this skill shot, the ball gets stopped above the lanes, so it can fall into one of them. If you select the shark hole, the ball will be fed past the lanes and down the right orbit to the shark flipper for you to take a shot across the playfield to the shark hole, which gives you some points. 40 million, and all these increase. And lastly, there's the side ramp skill shot, which will feed the ball down to the right orbit, but instead of going to the shark flipper, there's a little kicker here with a diverter. The ball will go into the kicker, and then it'll be shot all the way back around the orbit to the upper left flipper, which doesn't always work on every Baywatch, but when it does work, it's a pretty cool shot to feed the upper flipper very smoothly, and you can get that side ramp very reliably. But in this case, I'm going to choose shark hole, because that will feed the ball down to the flipper, and I can choose not to flip it and let it come down to the in lane. And now you can see what's very important if you can figure out a way to do it on Baywatch is, because of the way it drops down into this in lane, it'll often bounce, and in my case it bounces up and hits the back of the slingshot, which slows down enough that you can pretty much always get it to a trap with just by holding the flipper up, which can give you a lot of control. Or depending on some games, if the feed is smoother, you won't be able to do that, or you'll have to take a shot on the fly, and that will decide whether you want to more often take a shot from the side flipper or let it come down. There's also some pretty bad flipper hop on pretty much every Baywatch I've seen, which messes up attempts to make shots to left flipper on an inlane feed. So again, you want to trap up if you can to make that shot, unless you can happen to find on your Baywatch. You also hopefully have noted that the skill shot stayed flashing for a while, a good amount of time, after I didn't flip, although it eventually timed out. So, in all 3 skill shots, the shark hole, the side ramp, and the lane were still flashing. So technically, after I trapped it here, I could hold up the left flipper and then shot under it to knock the ball in the shark hole and still get my skill shot if I wanted for 40 million, which is probably an easier, more reliable shot to make than from the side flipper. Meanwhile, although I still invalidated the playfield, my ball save is lit. There's always a ball save in Baywatch you can't turn off as far as I can find. But there's no grace period on it at all. So if your ball does not hit the trough switch while the light is on, you're not getting your ball back. And there's a lot of other ball saves in Baywatch, although they don't light the light. So like whenever the ball ejects from the shark hole, there's an invisible ball save that'll give you your ball back, and whenever the kickback fires the ball, not only will kickback stay flashing for a second, but it'll also give you a ball save, so if the kickback kicks it and it goes right down the middle out the out lane, it'll probably give you your ball back as long as the ball settles fast enough. Kickback, very good to always have lit, is lit by hitting the laser kick targets here. Depending on settings, it might be on at the start of each ball at the start of the game. I have it set to be off at the beginning of the game and just have memory after that. And it takes increased numbers of hits to light it each time, which you can shoot for. It's not actually that dangerous to shoot for those targets, but even easier way is that the shark hole kickout will almost always hit those targets. Like that. I lit my kickback, and since there was a kickout from the shark hole, it didn't use my kickback. Which again, you know, so if you know you just kick out the shark hole or anything, don't bother trying to nudge it out or anything. Just let the kickback get it. Even if the kickback's not lit, it'll still kick it. AFX asks, what happened to the apron? And that's the other important thing about ball saves. So this game is a physical ball lock, but it doesn't keep the balls. When you shoot the left ramp when it's lit for a ball save, a trapdoor will drop it into a subway, and it will come down through the subway to an up kicker below this little hole down here, and it'll just kick it right back into the trough. So effectively, you're locking the ball, getting another plunge, but there's no balls being stored anywhere. When multi-ball starts, it'll just be kicked out. However, because of that, there's some weird things that can happen again with the ball saves, where anytime a ball falls into this hole, because it doesn't know whether the ball came in from the top or from the subway, if it's going to feed it to the trough, it'll always give you another ball when that happens. So a lot of times, even when you haven't done anything else related to a ball save for a long time, if you get like a power out lane, the ball will come down, roll up here, fall in that hole, and you'll get your ball back, and you'll have no idea why you just got a ball save, and everyone will be really confused. But depending on the looseness of the tilt and stuff, you can often like give it a sort of shimmy if you know it's going to get close, although you can't usually see it, and you get to fall in there and save your ball. So I've taken the apron off so you can see how close the ball gets pretty often to that hole, because there's no gate or anything on the hole to stop it from falling in. Most straightforward thing on Baywatch is probably multi-ball. There are 3 drop targets in the center. They're on a timer, so once you hit the first, you have a certain amount of time, usually like 25 seconds by default, to complete the rest, and that'll light 1 or more locks. Depending on the software settings, you will sometimes be awarded locks at the beginning of balls. With default Baywatch software, you're guaranteed a multi-ball in ball 3. It just gives you a lock every ball. Or it lights a lock every ball, you just have to get your locks. I'm running modified code from pinballcode.com. He also does like the Tommy code and other stuff like that. And so it's set so that it'll give you 2 locks, but you still have to get the 3rd lock. And that will only be on ball 3. Once you have a multi-ball, it'll stop giving you locks. So 3 locks will start multi-ball. I'm not going to go for that purposely because I know that I'm going to be given locks at the beginning of ball 2 and ball 3, and I'll just go for my 3rd lock on ball 3. If you already have a lock, it's not going to give you another one all the time. So I actually, unless you're going to get 2 multi-balls in the game, I just don't even bother going for multi-ball at first. Instead, I'll mainly focus on modes. All the 5 main shots have 3 lights in front of them. So right now I'm shooting the right ramp. So each time I shot the right ramp, I advanced the lights. The 3rd light will give you a mode. Each shot has a different mode. And then similarly, if you go across, if you hit all 5 shots once, you'll get another mode. Guard millions, and then there's another mode for the 2nd time all the way across. But you don't get to the 2nd time. So I advanced that right ramp. And 1 more shot will start the mode.
Okay, everyone, here's the situation. Starts in the back. Shoot the shot right now. Baywatch will be right back.
Again, I got the ball save from the shark hole when I fell in there.
Sharks in the bay. Sharks on the way. Sharks in the bay.
All the modes are timed, though sometimes they don't actually show a timer. In this mode, you just want to shoot the lit shark targets or the shark hole repeatedly for more points, which isn't actually as dangerous as it sounds, especially if you can do it by shooting under the upper flipper or from the side flipper.
Now. You did all you could.
Ran out of time there. But all the modes are actually worth pretty good points, usually 200 or 300 million for completing a mode, which is better than a bad multi-ball, and Asker's a good multi-ball, but they're definitely worth going for. Well, most of them are worth going for. Some of them are too dangerous to go for. Probably the most dangerous mode, which you probably want to actually avoid getting, usually, is the center ramp, the leftish ramp.
Okay, everyone, here's the
So I got in the center one going.
Save him.
You have to shoot
2,
3 or 4 holes.
Let's
The
go.
holes being the shark hole, the center hole, or the kick out on the right.
Baywatch will be right.
So again, the shark kick out was dangerous, but I got a ball safe for it. You don't need to worry about that. In this mode, once you get enough holes to save the trap diver, it'll light extra ball for a limited time at the center shot as a finishing shot for the mode. A lot of these modes have finishing shots in them. Saw there I got about halfway to the hole that time, even on slow drain. Also the same as, I was purposely going for the shark hole. I prefer that the other shots. It's pretty easy to hit from the upper right flipper or the lower right flipper. And it almost always relights your kickback when it kicks out of there. So when I don't have it lit, I'll go for that, even though it's a dangerous kick out, because it'll usually relight a kickback and get me back to more safety. Age of Clark. It's like a 3x5 grid, a row where Colin starts a mode. Yes, the second row for shooting every shot twice is actually a 2-ball multi-ball. And then the third row doesn't give you anything itself, but it lights the wizard mode. Neither of those I find are really worth going for that much. The multi-ball is not very valuable, and the wizard mode is also not that valuable. But guard millions for the first row can be very good, and most of the columns are pretty good. The other thing about skill shots since I'm back at the ball is if you do any skill shot 3 times, or do each skill shot once, you'll get a bonus. With the original ROMs, that was a 50 million bonus each way, I think. So it was pretty much a no-brainer, just always go for the top lanes every time, since it's a guaranteed skill shot pretty much, unless you really mess it up, and you'll get a whole bunch of points afterwards for getting 3 of a kind. In the modified rules, the 3 of a kind is 50 million, and 1 of each kind is 150 million, which can incentivize going for the other stuff. The thing about the top lanes is they always feed the pops, which can give you a nice feed down the right, or it can go out the left, and who knows what's going to happen there. So I'll actually usually avoid those, and especially if I have a shot I want to hit immediately, such as the lock shot, I'm just going to choose the shark hole and ignore the skill shot just to get a ball nicely fed to a flipper.
Let's go.
And now I can go for my lock. And miss.
Lock ball. All right. Officer's on the way. Be careful. It's dangerous out there.
And we saw the left drain from the pops. Drained me right there. The kickback tried to save me, but still was enough. Now again, ball 3, I've got my second lock lit, which hopefully you can see on the score cam screen. The only way to see the locks is the lights on the tower itself. So I'll go for that.
Coast Guard station. We're through.
Now I need to complete one bank of drops to light my third lock to multi-ball. Trying to go for the center ramp mode just to get the ball over the other flipper and go for the drop targets. Often hitting the drops and banking off of them will actually send you up the center ramp. So something to be aware of. So third lock on the left ramp, give me multi-ball. Hit it. Okay. Alright. Not a very good score. Too much time talking, not enough time flipping. But I'm going to ignore the top lanes completely because that's pretty straightforward. I'll go side ramp this time just to show it. So the ball's going to come all the way around into the kicker, back around again to the side ramp for points. Light your kickback. And you're not going to get that ball back even though the ball save was just on. This time I'm going to go with the shark hole for the easy trap to show things off. Second ball, so I'll take my lock on the left ramp. When you get a lock on the left ramp, you don't get your mode progress. So you'll see, like, right now the G is flashing, so I haven't talked to it yet. G is still flashing. I didn't get a credit for shooting that shot. If the lock trap door is disabled, there are virtual locks. Or if the trap door just fails to grab a ball, it'll give you the lock and it'll give you the mode. And if you have your mode lit and your last lock lit, multi-ball will take precedence, which is pretty nice because you usually want multi-ball. I'm gonna shoot for the laser kick again to relight it, and miss, and drain.
Well done. Coast Guard, roll away.
Take my second lock.
Lock ball, all right.
Relit my kickback, and I got one left ramp progress. Let's keep going fast since I'm here. Oh, the left ramp is very steep. It's one of those cases where, depending on how the game's playing in the tournament or how long it's been on, you might not be able to make that ramp anymore because these have the flippers that get soggy after a lot of play.
Let's go.
The far right D lane is a little loop around that comes back, so that's basically like your feed it from left to the right shot. And it's once you find it, it's very easy to hit repeatedly and pretty safe, but it's far enough over and small enough that if you can't find that shot, you're not going to be having a bad time. One more shot will start CPR, which is probably the easiest, best mode, although it's hardest to get to. Rejects from the side ramp will tend to feed the shark hole, which is usually pretty nice, so always try to hold up the upper left flipper when that happens. Actually, just put up the upper flipper, left flipper in general. I forgot about the ball save there from kickback, and I got myself two dangers I didn't even take. Now, third lock is lit, and the CPR is lit, so when I shoot this, it's going to give me the lock, because multi-ball takes precedence. Multi-ball has 3 phases, like most steady Sega games. Phase 1 is just shoot all 5 shots. Phase 2 is shoot the shark hole. Phase 3 is shoot the side ramp. Like a 5-ball multi-ball, I think, it's hard to count. No ball save though. And it also has a habit, like right now, that didn't work out, of holding the balls in the kicker for a while, which can be very confusing, because sometimes you'll even be down to 1 ball and they'll still be in there. Because yeah, I got 4 to 5 jackpots by playing around. Specifically, another small thing to note is the right shot. To register, all you need to do is hit the spinner in front of it once. So my ball only went up about this much and came back down, and I got credit for the shot. Right ramp is the last thing I need. I'm going to try to cradle separate. Badly. But it worked out. Now I need to shoot the shark hole. Which again can be done from the shark flipper or just from the lower flipper if you don't mess up.
Let's go.
There's no easy way to really hit the side ramp. If you shoot the right shot while the side ramp's lit, it'll catch it in the kicker and kick it all the way around to give you a feed. The same if you shoot the center shot, that will feed the kicker. Or often if you hit the left orbit, it'll come back around the orbit just because of the way the geometry works. But you definitely need to be in control to get that going well. Let's go back to the CPR. Search and Rescue was lit at the light above it, which is a mystery award, which also ends up kicking it around instead of hitting the right flipper like I wanted. It gave me the first shark award, which I haven't talked about yet, which is video mode. Always the same pattern if you can learn it. It's a very hard pattern. I always mess it up. Now, but it'll still feed around. Give me that. Still in the wrong flipper, so I need to pass it back over to the right. That was bad. Almost got it to fall in. Anytime you get the shark jackpot in a second phase multi-ball, you get to put up your initials similar to Whodunit in some other games. Not like how well you did, but just do it the last person to do it. And you'll see my initials whenever the shark chomping animation appears. On the subject of shark awards, there are 5 awards along the bottom here. First one's video mode, which can be pretty lucrative, about 100 million points for completing it. Second one is super laser kick, which will keep the kick back on for the rest of the ball, which is very good. The third one is shark, which is not very descriptive at all. What it means is the shark flipper will be enabled for the rest of the ball, or on the new modified bomb code for 1 minute, which is really bad, because you never want the shark flip. The left in lane has a light that says light shark flip, so if you combo left in lane, it'll light the shark flip light right in front of the flipper, and when the ball comes around, it will try to auto shoot it like Thing flips in Addams Family in the shark hole, which will give you some points, like 25 million, but that's not a lot of points. And your ball's out of control because the game is shooting for you. You're not flipping. And the award you'd usually get from shooting the shark award, because like anytime shark flip isn't lit, if you make a shot from that lane to there, you get the next award. you won't get that award when the shark flip is going on. So it's actually like denying you your higher levels of award, which is why the new ROM has it turn off after a minute, so you can even try to advance to higher awards. After that is Light Extra Ball, and then Earthquake, which is one of the semi-wizard modes. And they give 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 million points for doing them. I usually find it worthwhile to go for the video mode for the points, and then the super laser kick.
Come on!
Either on try to save that to ball 3, or if you have a multi-ball, keep that, because that'll be used for the multi-ball, and multi-ball gives you a lot of points. And I'll purposely stop shooting for it after that point, especially in tournament situations where the extra ball doesn't matter to you. So anytime you're in single ball play and you're not in a mode, going down this lane will flash the shark hole and give you a shot to go there for your shark award. I'll try to do that. But of course I can't do that if I choose a shark hole award, because the shark hole skill shot also cancels out the shark award you'll be shooting for. However, if you go for top lanes and the ball falls to the right, you can go for your shark award. So that's what I hope will happen now. As long as you get your skill shot, and it of course didn't happen. I'll let my kick happen. Try to get back to CPR here. Actually, I should go for circle board. Laser kick's out, so I banked off there to relight it. Then I'll relight it again anyway, so why not? Go for the left ramp again. Shark flip, video mode. I suck at the video mode. I haven't been able to find a reliable path to actually get through that video mode. Okay, CPR. All 3 ramps are lit. That time my feed was good enough that I couldn't catch it easily, which is annoying. So I'll try to pass it over. This time will give me a better feed. I'll go for this left ramp because I have a trap. And then the last one is the middle ramp. That's it, that's the mode. Again, that was like 50, 60, 70 million, I think. So that's almost 200 million points just for 3 shots, and they're all safe shots. You can do them all in a combo. Very nice mode, although it's harder to get to because it's on the tall left ramp. I have Copter Rescue lit on the center ramp, so I'll go for that and miss. Try it again. There we go. Copter Rescue. Shoot the 5 stand-up targets. That sounds fun. Got the ball save off of the shark kick out again. Never walk away from this game when you drain. You never know what's going to do. This one of the modes doesn't have a visible timer, however you can see the ship sinking in the background. Once the ship sinks, the mode is over. You can also see the helpless swimmers drowning in front of the ship. So that means I need to hit 6 more death targets in order to finish this mode. Once I finish it, it'll light a final shot on the center ramp. But I'm not going to go do that, because death targets suck. This mode you just always time out. None of the modes will stop the timer for an activity or anything like that, so you can just time all the modes out. But this is the one that I would definitely time out. It's definitely the most dangerous. Next most dangerous is the Shark Cave, which we saw in the first game. But that one I think is still worth going for, as long as you can just shoot for the hole over and over. Try to go for the far right mode. Is Tidal Wave, which is a very nice mode. If the Baywatch works. If it doesn't work, then you're doomed. So take my lock, since the last target was lit. Still trying to light my laser kick. I've used it a lot. However, my next shark award will give me the super laser kick, which would be nice. But I just grazed it off of there.
Let's go.
I've fallen to that side thing twice. super laser kick. So now
Report to the tower.
you can tell every time it does like the Jaws music, dun 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 dun, that's when you have the shot to go for your circle board. So now I'm going to purposely stop going for that, because all the rest of the awards suck. I have 2 lock slits, I might as well get one of those, if I could. Okay, so that, again, I hit the spinner, and it gave me credit for the mode, start the mode, which is bad in this mode, because if you actually make the shot, that kicker will open on the right, and it'll give you a nice feed. In this mode, the left orbit, the center buck, or any shot really that feeds the right side, but mainly the spinner, will light the side ramp for pretty good points. If that was a full hit on the orbit, it would have gone around to the kicker and been shot back around, but it was slow, so it didn't make it all the way. Again, bad luck. This mode's pretty cool though, because it's just, you can just do it as a three shot or 6-shot combo. You know, shoot the spinner, it'll feed the upper flipper, shoot the ramp, shoot the spinner. You can do that 3 times. It's worth a very good amount of points, and if you are pretty confident on those 2 shots, you can just cycle it off in no time and get a lot of points out of that. That's all the modes for the columns. We have 1 shot left on the right ramp to start guard millions, so I'll go for that. I'll try to feed the left flipper by shooting the side ramp to set me up. No, right ramp. Now guard millions. This is basically just 50 million hurry-ups on every shot. Oh, I have my super laser kick, that's why it's not running out. Each of these hurry-ups will count down to about 20 million or so, and then the mode will end. That was a bad idea to take that flipper shot there. I should have gone to a trap down there. And now I've lost my super laser kick, which is too bad, because super laser kick is great. Now I have 1 right ramp shot again to get to my second row mode, which will be like tourist multi-ball. I don't forget what the proper term is for it. Well, tourist season. There's a dedicated light for it on here, which is otherwise never used. So again, I'll go for a side ramp. Barely made it. Okay, right ramp. A lock by accident. That's alright. Alright. First season multi-ball. 2-ball multi-ball. It's got a very generous ball save. But, again, there's no grace period. The goal in tourist season is just to shoot the right ramp over and over and over again. And I messed up. Each shot is 25 million. And it goes for a long time. I've never gotten anywhere where it's not just 25 million a shot. Which not very valuable, but on the hand, you can just sit there, the right ramp's repeatable shot, you know, if you can find it, just shoot over and over, keep 1 trap on the right, you know, you're in no danger there. I have 1 lock left and 2 modes left. However, everything is from the left flipper and on the right flipper, and at least on my Baywatch, you cannot post pass easily. Lots of fun. Alright, there we go. So I'll go for a sharp cove again here. And this. Now another post pass. You notice, like, I tend to flip the upper flipper, especially this game is like the ultimate Borg in lanes over here, so it's 2 out lane in lanes, and especially if the post is lower, it's just like a descending thing, and you know how bad Borgs are even when the outer side is higher, so you can just drain a ton off that. So whenever I can flip the ball away with the shark flipper, I will always do it pretty much. You know, even though it's going to be going out of control again, you just drain off of it way too often, especially when I only have my post at a medium setting, it's already deadly. Didn't make it all the way up. Make it up again. Or again. There we go.
Okay, everyone, here's the situation.
Shoot the sharks again. Easiest way to do is from here. Use the upper flipper to just knock it in. I'll give you an increased amount of points. This mode works a bit differently on the original ROM, so keep that in mind. I think you can't use the hole every time, you have to go at least some targets on the sharks. Actually, still aren't that deadly as much as you'd think for being a whole bunch of side-to-side death targets. You can see though the points are just going up and up there. An extra 50 million for finishing it. A lot of good points there. Let my lock and drain. That was a great idea. Hope that was ball 2, not ball 3. Nope, that was ball 3. That's too bad, because I had just one center shot left, and that mode finished for the wizard mode. That's really pretty much it. 5 modes. CPR is good. Trap diver is good up the middle. Tidal wave on the right is good. I would avoid the left or the center and right ramp modes if possible. Even though they can be a lot of points, they involve more deadly stuff going on. Guard millions is worth going for. Tour season's not as much worth going for. Multi-ball is always worth going for, but it's hard to get it twice, and it usually gets harder second time through. But I'll try to go for it again. Just try to get the super. And again, since I want control, actually I don't really want control. I want a left flipper. I want left flipper to go for the drop targets. So I go for the side ramp, which is also definitely the funnest skill shot, even if you mess it up. I haven't hit anything yet. Light my kickback to validate my play field. These drop targets are fairly sweepable, and often the kickback will get 1 or 2 of them. Again, since I don't have the super laser kick yet, I'm going for that sharp shot. As long as you can find it, it's fairly reliable and safe if you miss. On the other hand, shooting for that lower drop target is not very safe. Use the shark flipper to save it there. This once we get it, yep, cool. Light my kick back. Good luck. Depending on how much luck you're having with those 3 drop targets, it can be worth it to just keep going for multi-ball. Depending on how the game is set up. I don't know how the second multi-ball is. Because multi-ball can be worth a lot of points. Good multi-ball is probably worth $1 billion on its own. Really trying to relight my kickback here, and I did. Okay, that's good. Center. Damn it. No Grace Period wall saves. Just one other thing to note is squid pops. They're basically super pops. Similar to Guns N' Roses, but not quite as powerful. If you can get the super pops lit directly, especially directly for a multi-ball, that can be very valuable. The inner in lane on the right is labeled squid pops, and I have no idea what it does. However, what I think happens, other than that, is if you get the top lane skill shot repeatedly, you'll get squid pops. Something favorite for these is skill shot, I guess. Even if it does put the ball in control a bit. Almost got in the hole again.
Well done.
So now I'm going to play some tournament. People are going to look really weird when I just like shake the game like that as it's draining.
Good guy, roll away.
Missed the top lane skill shot, which is sort of impressive. But it fed out the right side, so I got a shot at the sharp flipper, which is nice. I missed it. Okay, that lit squid pops. I don't know why. Well, I went out the squid pops lane at least. That beeping you hear is the lock drop targets timing out. I got them just in time. Trying to get that third drop target. Also, I'm trying to fall into the squid pops lane, but you can't really feed it purposely. Failure drain off the right ramp. Alright, so that game's done. I'm just going to choose top lane skill shot all 3 times this time. Try to get squid pops lit. We can see how many points they get if we can stack a multi-ball with it.
We're en route.
went down the trough fast enough, so I got my ball saved. And sooner or later we'll shoot that ball. Then drop the drop targets to the side ramp, which again is the least valuable mode you want, and also the most likely to hit by accident. Oh, squid pops lit. It's flashing. I don't know what that means. Kick it around to search and rescue. Oh, I ran out of time. The timer for the drops doesn't like stop when the ball's trapped or anything, so no. Yeah, while I was in search and rescue, it timed out. If it hadn't timed out, I could have probably shot the ball around and bumped it into the last target necessary. Yeah, as far as I know, that's tournament legal, shaking it when it comes down the outline, trying to get it going there. The tournament director, unless they really know their stuff, is going to be really confused about it, which, take that how you will, but, I don't think it looks much like a bang back is being done, and it's not, if it works, it's not going to look at all like a bang back. The lock shot can actually be backhanded if you do it right. The ramp can't. Alright, that was ball 2. I think if I get the top lane skill shot again for ball 3, it'll give me squid pops. You'll be able to tell because you have a seizure. Yeah, seizure. Look at that. Great.
Be careful. Dangerous out there.
Ah, come on, come on.
Baywatch will be right back.
You got an interesting decision there. Like, do you want it to roll the way over very slowly, or do you want to go back in the trough before your ball save runs out? So we didn't get multiple with squid pops, but you can probably see that the GI flashes on and off, which when you have LEDs in the GI is very blinding. And you get a lot of points from the squid pops. But you never get told how many points. One thing which I guess is sort of common with most games is when you're going for one thing, you tend to fail at it a lot. You know, like if I was going for modes, I'd probably get multiple by accident, but when I was going for multiple on purpose there, I couldn't even get one lock the entire game. Same with when I was playing modes, I almost got to the wizard mode a few games ago, which is just one of the weird things that happens. I assume to other people, but at least to me. Is there anything else specific the chat would like me to try to show you?
Coast Guard Station. We're in the Baywatch will be right back.
flipper jackpot. I'm trying. I've only gotten like 3 times the entire time I've had this game, so... Messed up my first shark skill shot, which means I'm out of the 3 of a kind and the variety award, 1 of each. Shark flip. Wasn't touching the flipper. Unlike on Valley Williams games, I guess, really, such as Addams Family, which originally had the first automated flipper, I guess, and Monster Bash's Phantom Flip. This game does not teach itself the timing. There's actually just a menu adjustment to tell it what delay to use. It's sort of boring, but that's what you get on a Sega, at least. There's also a setting you just turn off the shark flip completely, which really I'd probably recommend you do, both in-home and in a tournament, because the story just sucks. Relet my kickback off the shark hole. Accidentally hit another left ramp, which I don't want to do. Take a lock, or not. Man, it really happens way more often than this.
Well done.
Ah, that would be cool. So you saw there, I missed the side ramp I was going for as a skill shot, but even though I'd selected that, come on, I'm dead. Even though I selected it, it didn't lock out the other skill shots. So when I missed the side ramp, I got to a flipper without hitting any switches. I tried to go for the shark ramp, shark hole skill shot, and managed to get it, sort of luckily off of a rebound anyway. But it still gave me the skill shot, because I hadn't any switches yet. So, the same with, again, if you go for the shark flip and don't flip, you basically get a free ball in the flipper on an unvalidated playfield, which is pretty nice. Although, like, whether that's more valuable than getting your free 3 of a kind on the top lanes and getting shark pops is an interesting question. It's amazing how many switches don't validate the playfield. Like, the shark flip switch doesn't do it, the left orbit in-lane switch doesn't do it, the left in-lane switch doesn't do it, all the orbit switches don't do it. So there's a surprising amount of stuff you can do without validating the playfield. Like, the playfield is still not validated, even though the skill shot timed out. I can just go and do stuff. Or not.
Well done.
But the side ramp's the most fun. Take my free lock, or I would try to.
Be careful, aim for it out. Well done.
30 million after 2 balls.
Good God, all the way.
Some impressive play here.
Nice work.
Try to get my lock, slip again, and miss all 3 drop targets. Cool.
ATV. Be careful, aim for it out. Well done. If you don't...
still going for the shark rewards, try to get my super laser kick lit. Secret to getting like semi-far in that video mode is just to always jump sideways off ramps. Ron says my game seems mean. I don't think Baywatch likes being called mean, Ron. But to answer the question, this is probably not a keeper. Despite some of my performance, the game is actually very controllable, as you can see. You know, you can always get a ball to a flipper with no fuss, no ball save. A full half the shots feed the right inlane the same way we can easily trap it. The main thing for keeping the ball alive is also just keeping the kickback lit, because you can't really save the ball from that right side hardly at all, like that. And of course I do have the kickback on a harder setting than normal. Usually I think it would light every ball, which it's definitely not doing now. I'm going to ignore multi-ball for the first two balls and just get my 3 locks. And instead just go for some modes to get some points. Which is probably what I do in a tournament, really. Find whatever shot gives you a mode that you're comfortable with, or a shot that you're comfortable with. You know, because somehow shooting just one shot 3 times is sometimes pretty hard to do. Sometimes it's easy. So I'm just going for tidal wave here because I know I messed up that mode horribly earlier. I like to actually show it being played correctly. The video mode is very badly coded on this game. Like, impressively so. You saw like there. It played the sound that I gotten hit and ended the video mode, but I was still going. So usually tidal wave will start with a ball stuck there and I'll feed it around for a direct start shot. Did I miss? That's great. Sadly, this mode, shooting the side ramp that's not lit doesn't net you anything. So that's 1. Missed the right spinner by a lot. Another shot. No. That's basically what you do, is just 3 combos of that. And if you can get it down, it's really easy to do. I got my first lock lit now for the pity lock. However, you saw there the control gate to let the ball go past the lanes to the side flipper didn't work there. The ball came out so fast the gate hadn't opened yet. So, but again, Yeah, you could still go for the other skill shot, so I quickly moved the lane over and got the ball that way. Yeah, it's not... Just know all 3 skill shots, so if one goes wrong, you go for another if that's what you want. I'm going to purposely not start that mode, so I want to go for locks. You can't go for locks in multi-ball either. This is the other video mode, which I forgot even existed. You light it from shooting the side ground repeatedly, and then you just hit the flippers a whole bunch. Not even particularly fast either. Like, it's not a very hard video mode. You're the person in front, but you don't even know that. You just know to hit the flippers a whole bunch. I got guard million because again locks me out of the locks. But it's worth pretty good points. So. I usually don't even bother trying to hit the center shot because I'm really bad at it. It's got a weird geometry. We actually want to shoot farther to the right than you'd think. But it's usually just, unless you really need it, like, it's not worth shooting 30 million for and missing it.
I guess you could say it's pretty good.
Alright, I'll take my lock and rain. Cool.
Well done.
Again, I just want to ball on the flipper. This time it worked. Shoot the lock.
Block ball. All right.
And you saw down there, the lock is kicking the other ball back into the thing. Which you won't be able to see usually, but you'll be able to feel it. Accidentally started the shark mode, which is too bad. Or not. Okay.
Well done. You hit on
Good game, still a multi-ball. I don't know why multi-ball is so hard to get. It's sort of weird how the fact that you know the game is going to give you 2 locks, which you can't turn off even with a modified code, which made me sad. Basically disincentivizes you from going for them, even though you technically could have multi-ball on ball 1.
Baywatch. Guard, report to the tower.
Something there, something else a bit weird, but I shot the right orbit, which is supposed to feed the pops, but it went up so fast, it bounced off the gate and just went all the way back down the right orbit again.
Guard, report to the tower.
Ron asks, Baywatch or Lethal Weapon 3? And I gotta say, I still need to own a Lethal Weapon 3 to find out.
Looks like he's gonna pull through. Looks like he's gonna pull through.
ball 1 still, but I got ball 3 lock lit. So I'm going to not go for that until I have my laser kick lit or my super laser kick.
Well done.
Still need my laser kick lit. So I'm going to go for top lanes and hope it falls to the right. That didn't. Okay. The number of laser kick target hits required to light your laser kick resets at the beginning of each ball. So it would have been 1 hit there to light them, which hopefully just happened during multi-ball. And that sucked. And you probably see how many balls I lost out the left out lane there. And it was a lot. Also, I didn't have my super laser kick.
Guard, report to the tower. Wait.
Oh look. So the second row of modes, which is called Tourist Season, for some reason involves collecting cast members, which I don't understand. And the right orbit cast member is named Stephanie. So this is another game that Stephanie needs to buy. Lost my super laser kick there. I probably shouldn't have gone for that one, I only had 1 lock.
Well done.
Orange Coast Guard Station. We're in.
Baywatch Tutorial+Gameplay.
But I've gotten 3 top lanes, so I got squid pops. Since I have my multi-ball, I'm not getting any free locks anymore, which is great. Very helpful. And again, multiple lit and drain.
Hit on
Yeah, I think that's about it. I'll keep playing for a bit, but if anyone has any requests, let me know. I'm going to stop trying to multi-ball so hard, and just hope that it happens by accident. I'm going to go side ramp.
Coast Guard
I
station.
like side
We're
ramp.
en route.
This one danger is me. For me in tournaments is like sometimes I'll do stuff that's not probably the best idea just because it's more fun than the other thing. Thing there we just saw. I got the squid pops inner right in lane, and I come with a loop, and I got squid pops. I'm curious whether that'll stay.
Be careful. Team Baywatch will be right back.
Shark hole ball save again. So the in-lane squid pop seems to be a one-time or per time combo, and you only get the squid pops for as long as you're in there, which isn't really that good. The center ramp is surprisingly hard to hit, and its rejects are very deadly down the middle.
Coast Guard, we're on the way.
Another, not only is it the worst mode, but also does that, so another reason I pretty much recommend just never stream that ramp ever. Shark flip messed up. Shark doesn't have a mind of its own, it has bad ideas. Try tidal wave again. So it uses the cool side flipper shot. It's basically the coolest thing in the whole game, really.
Well done.
The best feed for the tidal wave mode definitely comes from the tidal wave shot, but it's also needs you on the left flipper, and there's no post passing. The game keeps waiting here because my, I guess you'd say my shoe lane switch, but there's no shoe lane in this game. The switch that tells that the ball successfully gotten up there is a bit flaky. So someone that doesn't know that it's kicked the ball up and keeps trying to kick it out of the trough again, even though it knows it's not in the trough either, because that switch works. Sort of interesting that despite you else's year, Sega Data East has this extra coil, so only releases one ball into the up kicker at a time. So it's pretty much impossible to get trough jams, which is really nice, especially for something that's usually known for its cost cutting. I really want to just pass over the right flipper, but it doesn't want to let me there. That would have been nice if it worked. Multi-ball. I think we really easily hit the one giant ramp, even halfway up. But you can't. You can also see where my games are tending to look pretty similar here. I choose the side ramp skill shot because it's the coolest. And then I go for tidal wave because it's the mode that makes use of the side ramp skill shot. I go for multi-ball and usually fail. So I can't hit a damn shot. Round pallet has taught me well. Play the video mode the same exact way. Stephanie. Such a fun shot though. It's got that kinetic satisfaction that so many shots don't have, especially on Joe Balser games. It's like the opposite of kinesthetic satisfaction.
Okay, everyone, here's the situation. We got a tidal wave coming. Winner!
Forgot about the ball save again. You'll notice I basically, anytime the ball is out of control, I keep the upper left flipper up. Sort of like this weird anti-bailout shot. I mean, it is a bailout shot, but like usually bailout shot is a nice, easy, safe thing. This one you can't really shoot for, but you know you're going to get a ball save and a usually sort of reliable out-of-control feed from it when you're done. So I'll take that over unpredictable stuff any day. Very, very challenging video mode there. Nice. Didn't expect to save that. You gotta always remember when you're holding the flipper up to know when to drop it too. Try and remember to catch the ball there instead of shooting it when it's coming down the in lane. It's something I've been trying to work on for improving my play, especially on games like this, where there's not just some ball hop on there.
Let's go.
You know, you can't rely on being able to make a shot when it's coming down the in lane, especially at a random speed. Like, if it's from a feed, you know the speed it's coming from, but if it just rolled up a bit and then rolled down, you don't know the timing of that, you're probably not going to miss your shot. It's much easier to try to catch the ball in the flipper as it's going down at slow speed. Got knocked out of Fantastic last year when making that mistake on Transport. Again, I was also 5 million points behind. but there's definitely that one shot that I missed that did it. Super laser kick coming in handy there. Super laser kick. Super laser kick. Super laser kick. Ah. Right outline drain again. That was so close.
Let's go.
This left ramp is definitely should have flipped there. Man. Left ramp is definitely, if you have any controlled shots during multiple, that's the one you want to try to shoot. It's going to be the hardest one to pick off. Well, technically the middle up kicker is the hardest shot to kick off, but it tends to happen by accident during multi-ball when you're just flailing around. Way easier than you'd actually hit on purpose. Another nice thing you see is when I have the ball stick going, the kickback automatically fires. It doesn't get used, which is something that a lot of even modern games are missing. I'm rapidly getting to the point here where the shots aren't worth going for. Only 30 million and dropping. I should probably just trap up pretty soon.
Let's go.
There's a chance. That was not the chance. That was the chance. Wait for this to time down.
Hurry up. Come on. Now.
Alright. 20 million, they time out. Go for the center again. Get my 30 million shark award of crap. Oh, that was cool.
Okay, everyone, here's the situation.
Alright, go back for diver trap. I have extra balls turned on. They're just very hard to get. So technically this mode is actually very important to go for if you want to have a good game. 1, 2. This is obviously just like most of that East modes is just lifted straight from Adam's family. This is Tunnel Hunt. Tunnel Hunt requires you to hit all 3 holes. This one doesn't care about what it is, it just wants you to shoot a hole. Man. An extra ball lit. Oh yeah, the kickback save gave it to me. So now I have 8 seconds left to shoot the center shot and connect the ball, otherwise it'll turn off. I don't know. Exactly why it's that mode that gives you extra ball and not the other ones. But that's what it does. This should light extra ball. Looks like my hole didn't register. That's cool. Not like I won extra ball or anything.
Let's go.
So either my switch is broke or that was bad luck. We'll find out soon. I'm sure I'll go in there again. Right now. Or not.
Baywatch like that.
How about now? Nope, my switch is broken. That's cool.
Looks like you're gonna pull through.
Multi-balls lit. Hey, not a multi-ball. This time we'll get a super for sure. Actually, this is a very bad idea. The ball search isn't going to work during multi-ball. In fact, this is a pretty good game I'm having. Just gotta be very careful not to shoot the hole. The ball is in there, I think, right? Yes, it is. Time for some self-tech action. Oh, high power is disabled. High power is not disabled because the flippers are definitely working. Just only the flippers are exempt. Stop that. Once they go in, though, it'll find them. Technically, that's true, but that wouldn't be fair, now would it? that'll fix it. No. Great. Yay! I have a replacement switch for that, just haven't installed it yet, so it was working pretty good. But as of all Daddy's Stern Sega up kick loop switches, it's not very reliable. Alright, back in the game. And again, it kept one ball in the side thing there for a while. Give me nice speed to shoot the shark flipper, and then drain my ball. Thanks, game. Just for the super jackpot lit again. Great. Neil's impressed with the one-handed glass. I'm a bit impressed too. I didn't think that would work that well. Although it definitely was easier than doing the one-handed lockdown bar, the spring-loaded stupid thing. I don't know what else you call that.
Wait, brother. Listen up, guys. Start shooting. Shoot. Let's go.
You like the kickback? Thank you.
Pull through.
Yeah, I got on the board at least. Or no, I just got the shark thing. I might have gotten on the board. That was a pretty good game, but probably not good enough. Default scores in this game are really high. Oh, I did get on the board, and I asked you again, so I could put different names, technically. And the famous Daddy Sega, I can't remember how many times you hit the flipper. Sometimes I'll move 2 times at once. Very nice. You have to be very careful when entering your name, just like that. Alright. That's probably enough for that, I guess. I'll have to go and solder a new... Oh no, I can't solder a new switch because I don't have a wrench small enough to work on the tiny, tiny, tiny screws that hold in that switch. I need to get one of those somehow. So yeah, it's working for now, but I'm sure it'll break again and soon. So I need to fix that. So hope you enjoyed watching. Until next time. Maybe later tonight I'll stream something else, who knows? I don't know. You definitely don't know.